Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk Stroke. I am your host and stroke survivor, Jerry Wall. And thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. And share the show if you feel that you got something out of it. I started doing the show to bring awareness to stroke, TBI, aphasia, brain injury, um, MS as well. I have a lot of people that have requested to do the show as a takeoff from this Tuesday show. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So what I mean by that is in the last episode, which was Tuesday, um, I talked about, well, we all talked about what I would say to myself after my stroke, like in the hospital. So today I want to talk about what I know now, after the shock, after the fear, after learning how to live in a body and brain that has changed, because there are things that you only learn by staying. Excuse something in my throat there, but anyway, thank you for being here. And if you haven't subscribed or even hit the like button on my YouTube channel, Let's Talk Stroke. I had somebody ask me, is it called Let's Talk About Stroke? No, it's called Let's Talk Stroke. And I appreciate all the subscribers that have done that. I passed the 2,000 mark, which, I was just doing it to bring awareness to our disease, stroke, which as you probably know, stroke is not for the weak. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back into it. Again, thank you for being here. Excuse me. Something just caught me. So anyway, after, like I said, because there are things that we only learn by just staying. So what I know now is healing is not about getting your old life back. We think about it in the beginning, but it's about building a life that still feels meaningful, even if you say or you look different. I used to think recovery meant returning to normal. Um, but now I know normal is something you redefine. Um, so I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but please uh, comment, if you have any questions, really feel free to just ask questions, make comments. Tell me what you think. Um, I know now that strength looks nothing like I thought it would. Strength isn't pushing through the pain. Strength is knowing when to stop. Strength is asking for help. And like I've said, it's okay to ask for help when you don't think you can in the beginning. Strength is admitting that you're tired. Strength is resting, even when you feel. I felt like this a lot. Strength is resting, even when you feel guilty for resting. The strongest thing I ever did was to slow down. Hopefully that makes sense too. I know this is I don't offend anyone, but I know this. I know now, and this is from interviewing guests on my show because it's happened many times. I know that people will disappoint you. Some will disappear because they don't know what to say. Um, because of their speech or whatever. Had a stroke and no one knows about it. A stroke, not everyone, but someone some will expect you to move on faster than you can. Some will assume you're fine because you look fine, and that hurts. Um, but I also know that there that the right people stay. They may be fewer. Some people will disappear, but they are deeper, and that matters more. Let's see. And if you have the questions and comments, good morning. Good morning. Catherine, Kevin, John, Catherine. Oh, well, just please, Sandy, Zane, and I hope if I did miss you, I do apologize. Um, But yeah, just these are strong words that um, that I'm talking about this topic here. So I know that progress is, this is true. Progress is sneaky. That's why I always say, maybe please record yourself, and then look back. It doesn't. Let's go back. I know that progress is a sneaky. It's sneaky. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with fireworks, but it does show up quietly in your patience, your emotional control, your ability to handle a hard moment better than the last time. Progress doesn't always change your body. Sometimes it changes your mind, and that's one of the big things that we need to remember. That sometimes it changes your mind. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, but yeah, it's true. You've got to, for the people that have showed up a little later. I don't. I can go back and give you a couple things that I did, but progress doesn't always change your body, right? It does. It changes your mind sometimes, not all the time. But I know that joy comes back in pieces. Do you feel that way? Not all at once, not like before, but in moments, like a song or a laugh or a conversation where you forget about your body in a minute. Joy doesn't need permission to exist alongside struggle. You don't have to be fully healed to feel happiness. Um, but I know that now that grief doesn't disappear, but it does soften. It becomes something that you carry, not something that carries you. Some days are quiet, some days are loud, and both are okay. Healing doesn't mean you stop missing who you are or who you were. It means that you make room for who you're becoming. And again, make comments, Zane. Sneaky is loudly. Angelia, nice to see you. Nice to see everybody here. And again, if you have questions, make comments. I've got this is kind of a this is a takeoff. And then, again, I love when you guys make comments, ask questions. The little things, Catherine, the little things bring me happiness that I can do without telling anyone. I know, yeah, that's awesome. Um, what was I saying? It mean okay. So if I go back, you don't have to be fully healed. This is kind of similar to what you just said. You don't have to be fully healed to feel happiness. I know that grief doesn't disappear. And like I said, I'm going back to what I said. I know that grief doesn't disappear, but it does soften. Um, and both are okay. Healing doesn't mean you stop missing who you were, but it does mean you make room for who you are becoming. Um, but I know now, I do know that purpose can come from pain, and for me, it did. I mean, I do these shows to bring awareness to all of our journeys, our stroke, our TBIs, aphasia. I never would. I kept thinking I never would have chosen this journey, but I can choose now what I do with it, and I do, and that's what this is. Let's talk stroke. That's what I'm doing with it. It's a passion. I really do it. Um, you know, but I know that I can choose what I'm doing with this and this show. Good morning, Brad. But I can choose what I do with it. Sharing stories, journeys from all across the world, holding space, letting other. This is a big one. Letting others know that you're not alone, and that was true because I was alone when I first had mine. Embarrassed, but that matters. So if you guys are, well, maybe this is, if you're listening today and wondering, does it get easier? I mean, here's the honest answer. Um, some parts do. A lot of parts get easier. Um, and these are honest answers. Some parts don't. A lot of them don't, but a lot of it do. I hope that makes sense. But you do get stronger. It's not because you wanted to, because you had to, and that's strength. That's real. Um, so if you're, let's see, we'll just say this: if you're early in your recovery, please hear this. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have a plan. You just need to stay. You don't need to have hope every day. Um, and if you're years out and still struggling, you're not doing it wrong. You're human. I mean, I thought in the beginning, um, first of all, thank you guys for listening. But I thought I'd be healed when I got out of the hospital. Well, guess what? No. But just going back in the last episode, which was Tuesday, I talked to you about, well, we all talked about what I would say to myself right after my stroke, the hospital, um, you know, well, when I woke up. But so today we're talking about what I know now, like after the shock, right? After the shock, the fear, and learning how do I live? And this took me a while. Learning how do I live, um, for me, was being positive in a body and the brain that has changed, because there's so much that have changed. I mean, healing, I thought, was about getting my old life back. My old life back. Healing is not all about that. Um, please ask. Okay. Good morning, Colette. Lynn. Good morning. And Renee, good morning. If I missed you, like I say, I always apologize. But so, Angelia, let's see here. I bringing this up. It's a pretty long comment here. Learn how to be. I'm going to read this out loud because some people, if you're not seeing the comments, well, you know how to do it. So learning that again. Thanks for being here and making comments. How deal with all the emotions. Yeah, I experienced it after the stroke occurred. Has been the best thing I've done for myself. I don't have to do anything with the emotions other than embody them and allow them to flow through me. I agree. I agree 100% there. Michelle, good morning. Catherine, I still have time. I love these comments. After my things. Boyd, good morning. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Still want. I know. you know, Michelle, your comment here. I'm bringing it up here real quick. I'm still trying to figure it all out. I still want my old life back. Forgive me. I don't know how far out you are. Again, I'm sure I know that, but I forgot. Huh. But my life now, I think, I mean, yes, things have completely changed. First of all, I don't know. Well, besides the stroke, the income because of what we're doing. So that's what I want all life back. But anyway, I have more purpose now. I just want to spread awareness, because who knew that every 40 seconds someone out there in the world has a stroke in the United States? Who knew that? I didn't. But anyway, that's so now I have more purpose. I feel for me. Everyone's different, and I'm not saying something different like I did. But anyway, things are different for me, and it's more of having purpose to share and spread awareness about what we're going through. Me, 15 plus years out and post stroke. So yeah, beginning I was completely, I felt like that, and I do believe that. Yeah, where's it? Michelle, yes, still trying to get it figured out. Oh, I read that. Catherine, yes, still tell myself it's okay. Breathe after 4 years. I'm with you on that. Completely, I agree. So if you haven't done it, or got here when I did, but or when you guys came in a little late, that's okay. But what I know now is this: healing, because that's what we're doing. Healing is not about getting your old life back. It's about building a life that still feels meaningful, even if you look different. I used to think, and I did. I used to think recovery meant returning to normal. Now I know normal is something you redefine. Normal is something you redefine, right? Um, I know. Uh, um, I know now. Strength looks nothing like I thought it would. I'm reading and talking about this one part that I talked about just a little while ago. Strength isn't pushing through the pain. Strength is knowing when to stop. Strength is asking for help. And I say it's okay to ask for help. Even if you're 2 years out, 5 years out, whatever it is, it's okay to ask for help. Strength, you have to admit, um, it strength is admitting that you are tired. And strength, I don't know if anybody, I'm reading my hand. Strength is admitting you're tired. Strength is resting, even when you feel guilty about resting. I did. I mean, it was, I really felt guilty about that. The strongest thing I ever did, is slowing down. Um, and here's the part that I've seen this many times. I know that people will disappoint you. I talked about this a little earlier. Some will disappear because they don't know how to deal with us and they don't know what to say. Some will assume, and then I'm sure this happens to a lot of you. Some will assume you're fine because you look fine. Does that hurt? I've been told that. Uh, um, yeah, I know. I'm reading. Look at these. I learned to be silent and enjoy the moment more. I am Kevin. I believe this is a good one. I learned to be silent and enjoy the moment more now than ever before. Appreciate life more. Does that? I don't know. Does that make any sense? Because that's what I feel. And I still say I had what? I know. I know. Um, let's see. I never thought. Let's see here. I never thought of it that way. Strength is resting when you need it. It is. That's that's how I feel, and that's how I have felt. And not all the time. It wasn't like that all the time. Um, you know, my neurofatigue is it's actually doing pretty good. I don't know if anybody still has neurofatigue. That gets you hard there. But one of the biggest things was people that will disappoint you. Um, I, I used to ask this question: how many friends or anybody that you have lost because they didn't know what to say after the stroke. You know, some people like going to the store. They see you. Oh, um, you hurt your leg. Because I'm limping around. I used to give them the whole story about the stroke and all that. And I said, yeah, I'll hurt myself. It depends because I can truly say I have no problem telling you my story. My pride is totally changed um, from in the hospital till out. I mean, and just be honest. So some people in your corner will disappear, and one of the things will because they don't know what to say. They have no clue what to say. But but I do also know now that the right people do stay. They may be fewer, but they are deeper. And to me, to me, it matters more. And I do know, and I say it a lot, please, or record yourself. And I used to just think, well, why would I record myself? People, I'm showing off. No, it's not. Because your progress it's slower. Now I'm talking about me, but progress is really sneaky, and I'll say this again because I said it earlier. It doesn't announce itself. We're talking about the progress. It doesn't announce itself. That's why I always try to record things. I don't post them a lot. Some of them I do. It depends how far back, and I see the progress. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with fireworks. It shows up quietly in your patience, your emotional control, right? The ability to handle a hard moment better than last time. That progress doesn't always change your body. Sometimes it changes your mind. Huge. I mean, I don't know how many people go through that. Even it doesn't matter. Effect recovery. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And and always I can say is, if we can change one person's life in this journey, I feel absolutely great. Started day one of our thinking. Thank you again for making all these comments. And that's okay if they leave. It doesn't affect your recovery. Yeah, that's a true one there. And I bring up these comments. Feel free. I always say if you guys are making comments and everybody can see it, it's okay that I bring these up. And if you don't want me to bring these comments up, let me know. Yes, I was so close to death, and now I want to take my kids and family to have a happy memory of me. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, if people don't know my story, it's I've been talking to a lot of people in the past, but I spent 9 days in ICU, 9 days. Then I spent 2.5 months in patient in the hospital, and then for discharged. And that was a whole new journey. I keep saying it, but this is just mine. I was embarrassed that I had a stroke because I didn't know what to say, and I didn't know anything. It took me a long time until I started meeting other stroke survivors out there, thinking, "My gosh, I'm not the only one." I'm not the only one that had a stroke, and I felt, how do I say that? I felt like, wow, I'm not alone. And then I met another one, and then I don't know how many years after I started doing this, it was awesome. Awesome, trying to learn more and more about stroke, TBI, aphasia. I mean, who knew? The only reason I knew what aphasia was is because when I asked for all my records to keep track of them, there was something in there that said aphasia. What is that? So we talked about that, and well, I talked about it, and until I met some doctors, even on my show, that what they were their goal was to spread awareness about aphasia. Um, Dr. Brassard, if anybody knows, been on here a lot of times, but Tom Brassard, aphasia. That's what this is. So I knew that I had it. I don't know if you get, is this backwards? Probably. Aphasia, loss of language, not intellect. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, that's what it was. And then I figured out from a speech therapist years later, Jerry, let's record yourself while you're talking. Read this. or let's talk and then we'll listen to it back. If you haven't done that and you've got some aphasia, I recommend doing it because then you know what your speech is like. And I did that, and whew, it was pretty mind blowing that that your speech has changed dramatically. Well, mine did. Anyway, but anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. What I know now. That's what this is really about. I was this is like episode number 2, because the first one, and I'll go quickly on this. In the last episode, which was Tuesday, we all talked about what I would say to myself right after my stroke. That was good. I appreciate you guys all being here. That was really pretty awesome. But anyway, so today I talked about what I what I know now, after the shock, the fear, and trying to learn how to live myself. No, what I know now is learning how to live in a body that this was big for me. Well, both brain and body that has changed. The brain, oh my goodness, I mean, so many things. But what I always also say is, people say I'm not recovering like I wanted to. Well, I mean, you got to keep at it. I was told for the first, one of my therapists, my occupational and physical therapist, told me, if you want to keep improving, do the exercise that I'm teaching you or doing with you at least 3 times a day. Well, I did that in the beginning, and I did see dramatic improvement. Then I said, I'll just do maybe once a day, and I saw it, like, I don't say a decrease, but so now I'm back to doing it at least 3 times a day. That's a big thing. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here, and I hopefully you enjoyed this session. And I do appreciate. Let's see. In the oh, then okay. When you have a stroke, okay, here it is. Let's just go back to here. In closing, if you're early in your recovery, please hear this. You don't have to have it all figured out, because who has that all figured out. You don't have to have a plan. You don't need hope every day. You just need to stay. And if you're years out, right? If you're years out and still struggling, you're not doing anything wrong. You're human, right? So thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it, and thank you all for listening. And for most of all, thank you for continuing one day at a time. So feel free. Somebody, Gordon, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you here. Have a great aphasia, Phil. Okay, and I have Cody, who will be on. Thank you, Kevin. Cody will be on Tuesday, and we'll be going over his journey. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you guys for being here. Really, I do really appreciate it. And have a great rest of your day. And tune in Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Time, my time in Texas. Cody will be on, and he will share his journey and all that. Colette, Catherine, Michelle, Sandy, Kevin, Gordon, Catherine. Sorry if I missed you, but you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and stay safe out there as well. Take